Hey, what's up, everybody? So one thing that I didn't expect coming into this season was for the Chiefs to start out playing terribly. Starting off 2-3 so far this season, they have lost 4 of their last 6 games with Patrick Mahomes, and before that, they had won at 12 in a row and had won at 25 of their last 26. It seems like for the Chiefs before this season, for that stretch that they went on, you just always assume the Chiefs are going to come out on top because typically they did. They almost always found a way to come back. Lots of those playoff games, being down and then fighting back to come in and end up winning the game. And now that's just really changed for this team. It looks like a completely different team right now. But if you guys are new here, you haven't subscribed, you want to see more NFL content from around the NFL, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel down below and drop a like if you guys enjoy this video. So the Chiefs this year have struggled 2-3. If we take a look at their standings so far in the division, they are at the bottom of the AFC West. Definitely not what I would have expected. There are lots of good teams in that division. Now the Chargers have been on fire recently, sitting at 4-1. The Broncos are pretty good there at 3-2. The Raiders currently at 3-2, so the Chiefs are sitting at the bottom there at 2-3. But if we do take a look at the 3 losses for the Chiefs, they were against really solid teams. They lost to the Ravens by 1 point. They lost to the Chargers by only 6 points. And then last Sunday, a couple days ago, they lost to the Bills by 18. So they got beat a little worse in that game versus the Buffalo Bills. But if we take a look at the main reason this team has just been, taking these L's, it's because their defense has been absolutely just terrible, completely terrible. They have been the worst defense in the NFL, allowing 32.6 points per game. So even though you have a guy like Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, so many different weapons on this offense, you can't have your defense giving up 32.6 points per game. I'm a Packers fan, and so one of the things I'd say the past few years that the Packers have dealt with is, having a stellar offense and then the defense comes in there and plays bad in important situations, like, a couple NFC championship games, or at least one NFC championship game where the Packers rushing D just was absolutely terrible. So you need at least a somewhat good defense to help you when you're in tough positions, which I'd say the Chiefs offense has been in a little bit as well. The Chiefs defense is also giving up 7.1 yards per play, which is absolutely terrible. And they are also one of the worst rushing defenses in the NFL, allowing 141 yards per game, which is 29th in the NFL. And they're getting basically no pressure. They have the fewest sacks in the NFL, only 7 sacks so far. So in every stat pretty much possible, when you take a look at this Chiefs defense, they have been absolutely terrible. Another reason I'd say too, last game versus the Bills, they were without Chris Jones, who is, probably one of their best players for the defensive line. So that definitely doesn't help them as well. So considering the Chiefs defense is playing so poorly, for the Chiefs to have been able to win those games, you would have needed Patrick Mahomes and that offense to play, at the highest level. And this offense has been playing at a very high level still. They are the 5th best scoring offense in the NFL, averaging 30.8 points per game. The only problem I'd say for this Chiefs offense that hasn't been as prevalent, in the past couple seasons when they've been dominating, is turning over the ball. Right now, they have the most turnovers in the NFL, tied with the Jaguars, averaging 2.2 turnovers per game. So when you're turning the ball over and your defense lets the team score pretty much every time, not every time, but a majority of the time, it's going to be tough to win those games. They also have the 5th most penalties on offense in the NFL. So they're just playing really sloppy football right now, the Chiefs are. Here, if we take a look right now at Patrick Mahomes' stats, he's still, playing at a high level, but one thing this year is that he has struggled with interceptions. He has already thrown 6 interceptions this year through 5 games, which ties how many interceptions he threw in the entire season back in 2020. In 2020, he only threw 6 interceptions the entire season. So as you can see so far this year, 6 interceptions versus 16 touchdowns. He still has a 106.1 rating, which is not too bad. But overall, he has definitely struggled, I'd say, a little more than usual, not playing quite at the highest level as he has in the past year before this season. So the question is, can the Chiefs move on from this? Can they find a way to start getting wins? They have lost to, I'd say, really solid teams. So maybe as they start to face some lesser competition, as time goes by, maybe they find a way to get back to where they were. But if you have your defense just can't be the worst in the NFL, and you really have a shot of doing much. Obviously, the Chiefs offense keeps them in these games more than other teams would if their defense was doing just as bad as they are. But they definitely need to fix up those holes in the defense. I don't exactly know how you fix those holes. They're just getting beat in every possible way. But who knows if the Chiefs will be able to, figure all that stuff out. And if the Chiefs want to have any, chance or hope of getting back to the Super Bowl this next season, they definitely need to fix these turnover issues issues because, you can't have that when you're giving the other team more possessions to go in there and score. Definitely, not helpful for your team overall. But that is going to be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, drop a like on the video if you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you have yet to subscribe and you want to see more NFL content like this. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.